In a time before mortals, when the world of Vael was young, the continent, now known as Hyloma, was without light, all but for 1 week of each passing year. Kyva, the sun goddess, so often passed without a glance to the land, but when her eventual gaze peered downward, she basked light on creatures of shadow, anguish, oblivion, and domination. Reviled by the elder gods that festered the dark corners of this world, Kyva created 13 children from her essence and set them to purge the evil. For a time, it was a success, though the elder 3 responded by bearing children of their own, and the light was almost snuffed out entirely. The strength of Kyva's children was fueled by a Lightwell, a great basin of burning divinity that lit the land in her absence. The elder 3 corrupted it, and several of the Sunchildren were killed. 2 of the Celestials took it upon themselves to win at any cost. Vitality sacrificed their body to form a new Lightwell, and Victory journeyed into the depths of Hyloma and struck down Anguish. Shadow retreated, and the age of the first dawn began. The children of Kyva slumbered, and the land fell to silence. Mortals eventually came to find Hyloma, an empty land void of dragons or giants, who ruled over the other continents. Following them were devils, demons, fae, and creatures of other realms, eager to govern pockets of the land as lesser gods over these mortals. This age of twilight lasted until a devastating event shook the world. The setting. The catastrophe known as the setting happened nearly 2,000 years ago, and as the world shattered, islands splintered and nations crumbled. So came creatures from the depths of the sea, and Hyloma fell into chaos. Mortals stood no chance. It was when an abandoned people found the slumbering Celestials that they were able to unite and fight back. Together, they vanquished darkness once again, and a second dawn began. Inspired by the mortals, the remainder of Kyva's children began to settle upon Hyloma. Heroes of the war began bloodlines with the Celestials. From this era, great houses were born, 13 with sunblood in their veins. A kingdom was formed, and as the Celestials disappeared over the years, mortals began to purge the land of pretender gods. The mortals reached untold heights of magic and discovery, and all it took to fall was an arrogant, reckless king. In an attempt to replace the depleting Lightwell, the Archmage King stole a false sun from a mirror world into our own. Failing to do so, devastation was wrought as fire rained from the sun-torn sky. After a grueling civil war, the kingdom collapsed, and the great houses demolished the monarchy for good. The former king's misuse of magic caused the Lightwell to be covered with a fog. It took decades before a solution was designed. An enormous arcane focus, which each day projected an arcane mirage across the continent, the Sunforged. It mimicked the dawning and setting of the sun. We begin our campaign nearly 500 years into the Third Dawn, and without the protection of the Lightwell, the whispers of the elder gods are louder than they have been since a time before mortals.